All right, hey guys, Jason here. We are going to talk today another misconception thing. We got another one of these series, maybe this one, maybe one more, we'll see. But last week we talked about misconceptions on the expenses that you got to do on your bow and arrow setup, and that's what we covered. I'm going to set this over here out of the way for right now because we did that last week. Today what we're going to talk about is your hunting gear. This is where the industry really wins, okay? This is the biggest hoax of all in the world, and we all fall for it, but we want to dive into it. So this will be your other gear. This will be gear like this kind of stuff, gear like the things that we get sucked into that we think we need to have. So let's dive into it. So first of all, so I can get this out of my hand, let's talk about clothing, okay? When it comes to clothing to hunt in, your hunting gear, we have been convinced time and time again. Now, I'm not getting into the camo debate. We'll talk about that in another one, okay? I'm talking about the quality of the gear. But we have been convinced time and time again that we have to spend a ton of money in hunting gear as far as clothing goes, okay? That's just the world that we live in. Plus, we all want to feel like we're really good at something. We want to feel like we're wearing a uniform. We want to feel like we're something special. We want to feel like we made it in life. We want to feel like we take this seriously. And I understand all that. I get it. I 100% do. But I'm going to give you the truth of it. When I lived in Michigan, I had a bunch of expensive KUIU, Sitka, and First Light gear, and I barely ever wore it. When I do my Midwest trips, I bring with me Sitka gear, KUIU, and First Light. I barely ever wear it. When I'm here in Georgia, and I've been down here now, living down here for 3 years, I have KUIU, Sitka, and First Light, and I barely ever wear it. Okay, this being the exception, this set right here. This and the KUIU set. These are my rain gear setups, okay? This is First Light. This is a Boundary Storm Tight pant and a First Light Vapor Storm Tight jacket and a Outdoor Research sombrero waterproof Gore-Tex hat. This is my rain gear right here. This I wear, I bring it with me everywhere. And I wear it a ton of times. Love that rain gear. Love good quality rain gear. Also love the good quality stuff that I have from KUIU. I love their guide vest. It's absolutely amazing. I love their Timberline pants from Sitka Timberline pants. My favorite pant ever made. These things are not bad pieces and parses, or whatever you call them. But as far as clothing pieces, they're great. You do not have to have them. What else is the other one? There's another one that I absolutely love, and I do think that this stuff has a purpose, and I do think that there's some major benefits from it. Got a big yellow fly bite right on there, and my binocular strap rides right on it. But another one is whatever that shirt is, that long sleeve, super thin Sitka shirt that I got that Pat Kelly bought for me as a gift. He sent it to me as a gift, and then I ended up buying 3 more of them. I love it. James uses them. You see Robert Carter wearing it all the time. That shirt, whatever that shirt is, that hoodie, that super thin Sitka hoodie, I love that too. It's nice because it's super thin. It dries really fast. There's advantages to this stuff, okay? However, 99% of the time, I'm not wearing it. I don't need it. Again, that shirt is a gold mine. I actually have 3 of them, but I like them so much that I'm saving them for those days down here. When it gets to be 95 degrees, 98 degrees, I'm wearing that shirt. And then I'm also saving it a lot for hunting season. When I'm out here doing this hog stuff, you can see we're in a burn area right here. You can still see smoke going right back there. They just burned this. Down here, it's, prescribed burns. They burn this area. This whole entire area gets 100% burned. Every so many years. They do it in cycles, and here's an area they just burned it out, which is nice for me. It's helping keep the bugs away, and we got a good breeze here, so that's why we're standing here. But the that shirt, I save it more for early deer season because of the fact that I don't want to ruin it. When I'm out here and I'm not in an open area like this and I'm moving through the brush, I rip a lot of shirts up and screw a lot of things up, especially the orange ones I got to wear here. So it's nice to kind of protect and save those a little bit for when I really need them because they're not cheap. But don't think for a second, as a deer hunter or a hog hunter or anything that you're hunting, that you have to have this expensive gear. And I'm at the point now and have been that I hunt so much that I can't have hunting gear. It's not worth it for me to have hunting gear because of the fact that I'm out here so many times a week that I'm wearing just whatever I got in a drawer. So, we do my laundry a little different. I use the Clear All or whatever it is, laundry detergent with no UV brighteners for everything I own. So I can just come out in anything I own. These are the only types of pants I even own anymore are these Wrangler. I've shown them in other videos, these Wrangler pants, but these come right out of my dresser drawer. So does the shirt. Comes right out of my dresser drawer. So do my socks. So do my underwear. I'm not wearing any hunting clothes. I'm wearing everyday clothes. We've been out here for the whole day, the whole morning today, and this is what I've been wearing right here with an orange shirt over top of it. But don't think for a second that you got to get carried away with this clothes thing. Okay, don't think for 1 second that you can't run to Walmart or to Dunham's or to the G.I. Joe store or whatever you want and go in there and buy a cheap camo t-shirt or a cheap camo vest and put it on over whatever you want to and wear your everyday clothes. You 100% can, and it is successful and it works like a champ. Do not think for a second that if you're getting into hunting or you've been at it and you need something new, that it's worthwhile to you to go spend money on that expensive clothing stuff. If you want it, more power to you. If it makes you feel good, more power to you. John, Tactic Saddle, perfect example of that. We have this conversation all the time. He's like, he is always head to toe every single day in expensive Kuiu First Light and Sitka gear, and he loves it. And he'll tell you first thing right off the bat, I know I don't need it, but it makes me feel really good, and I really like it. I like the way it fits. I like the way it feels. I like the durability of it. I like everything about it, and you'll never make me not want to wear it. And there's nothing wrong with that. He is in it head to toe. Matter of fact, if you were to go see him today, if he's not in a suit at work, and you were to see him on a weekend, on a Sunday at church or anywhere, he's probably in pair of cargo pants made by Kuiu and probably in a Sitka t-shirt. He loves this stuff. Nothing wrong with that. So don't think I'm trying to knock it. But don't think for a second that you need it. Let that be way down the road when you've got everything else sorted out and set. Till then, clothing is not a big deal. You can run and go buy a Carhartt sweatshirt and be 100% fine, and you can get that on sale at Lowe's or clearance in the summertime. I'm just saying, don't overdo the clothing factor. Gear, as far as gear goes, binocular is another one. Right here. If you go back 20 years ago, I'd have told you have to have, it's worthwhile to go right to like a Swarovski binocular or a Leica or something like that. Matter of fact, perfect example, John again, Tactic Saddle. I know John, I've known him, obviously he's one of my best friends, like a brother to me. I know right now, if I were to go into his gun safe, I would find 2 pairs of Swarovski binoculars, a pair of 8x30 or 8x42s, a pair of 10x42s, a pair of 8x42 Leicas in there, and a pair of the old original 7x40 something Zeiss binoculars in there. And do you know what he wears 9 times out of 10? Like when we just did the Midwest hunt, he brings a pair of Vortex 6x30s. Okay, that's what he wears with him on his most valuable hunts of the year. That's what he takes. And he broke them this year. I don't remember what happened to him. And so we were there and he was checking out my Kawa 6.5x32s that I have. I think that's what they are, the Kawa BDX. And he fell in love with them. He's like, and he ordered them right there on the spot. Boom, he had them right then. But yet he's got all these high-end binoculars sitting in there. I'm the same way. I haven't used my Swarovski 10x42s in 10 years. And then I sold them last year, as a matter of fact. And then my 7x30s, since I got my Kawas, those Kawas, I haven't touched them. I don't know if I ever will again. I might as well just sell them is what I should do because they were great and I'm not taking anything away from them, but you don't need to spend that much money. And you don't have to pamper them and baby them like my 7x30 Swarovskis. They don't make them anymore. And I treat them like gold and leave them in my pack and they're all sealed up nice and they come out when I get in my stand and I don't want to drip sweat on them and I want to baby them and make sure they're going to make it. The reason I don't want to drip sweat is because I'm wearing DEET and I don't want the chemicals on them. But so these things kind of matter. We're spending $320 on a pair of Kawa 6.5x30s or 8x32s or whatever they are. Phenomenal. And they're incredible glass. They're incredible, and they're $300, not $1,600 or $2,000 or $3,000. So it's absolutely incredible. Even these Mavens 8x30s, these B series 8x30s. I have been wearing these now for 4 months, hog hunting all the time. These have been beat like crazy, and they hold up incredible. It's a $500 binocular. Okay, it's incredible for what they are. So don't think you got to spend a ton of money. The Vortex Diamondback HD 8x32 will go down in history as by far one of the best value binoculars ever made. They're like $170 when you find them on sale, $160, and they are incredible on every level. Will do everything you ever need a binocular to do. And they're like as a matter of fact, I think last year I did a video, they were $150 on sale through B&H Photography. So like I said, don't think you got to spend a ton of money on this stuff. Do I love these? Yes. Are the Vortex great? Yes. Are probably the new CLs and NL Pures and all this stuff from Swarovski great? Yeah. And you know what? If you live out west and you're going to sit there and you're going to sit on a pad and you're going to have a little tripod set up and you're going to be glassing across drainages for 10 hours a day, then maybe buy them. The rest of us in the real world, it don't matter anymore. It's not 25 years ago where the distance between top end binoculars was here and the distance between low end was here and middle was here. Now here's top end, here's the middle tier right here, and then here's the lower tier right here. Okay, this gap is not like this anymore. From bottom to top, it's much more like this is where it is. So don't think you're gaining a whole lot spending that money on that kind of stuff. Where should you spend your money? Let's talk about that, because we're 11 minutes in. Where do I think you should spend your money in the gear? Boots. Boots, number one. And I don't mean buy expensive boots. I mean splurge on the boots that fit your feet right. You're going to wear them out. You're going to burn them out, especially if you start walking. Those days of, and again, maybe if you're somebody that's a tree stand hunter, you might get 10 years out of a pair of boots because you're walking 100 yards to your tree stand, and I get that. That's perfect. Me, these Rockies that I wear right here, these Rocky boots, I go through 2 pairs of these a year. My rubber lacrosse snake boots, I go through 4 pairs a year. Those are $200. These are $180. I go through, like I said, do the math. That's 6 pairs of boots averaging $170 if you put them together, $175 times 6. That's $1,100 a year I spend in boots. I don't have a choice. You wear them out, okay? It's just part of the game. But boots are worth spending money on. Your pack, I think a pack is worth spending money on. You can get away with a cheap pack just fine. But don't think you got to buy an expensive hunting pack. There are plenty of amazing mountain bike packs, hiking packs, and that kind of stuff that you can get that work just as good, and they're usually a lot less money, and they're usually a lot lighter weight, and they do the same kind of things. Really, the time it only kicks in and starts to matter is when you start thinking about load sling options for packing meat out and things like that, and some of those frame packs. But even then, you can get Mystery Ranch packs on sale all day long. Kuyu's got the best pack in the world, in my opinion, as a day pack with the Venture 2300. Their Divide series are fantastic. You can spend your money in boots, spend your money in packs. I think those are a fantastic choice. Those are things that you're going to use and they're going to matter. Your feet matter. So that's, to me, that's very important as far as that kind of stuff goes. Also, I'm a huge fan of having the essentials that you got to have with you. It is worth investing the money to make sure that you got your thermocell, make sure that you got all the stuff that you want to have with you when you're out there in the woods and that kind of thing. In reach, I should have one. There's no doubt I should have one. Where we're at right now, I have 0 cell service and I'm a long way from nowhere. They were already out. I mean, there's probably nobody coming by here. If I turned you around, this road doesn't even have a set of tracks on it other than mine. Nobody's coming. And with all the snakes and all the stuff that we got out here, I should be running an inReach or something like that. Those are good things. These are the kind of places that you want to spend money into. Also, put it into your camp setups. If you're going to be doing some hunting trips and you don't want to spend the money for hotels, which gets expensive, start thinking about some camping gear, things of that nature. And then also the biggest one, take all that money you were going to spend in this frivolous stuff that you think you need but you don't, and start putting it into tags and gas and vacation days. Those 3 things are where all the value is. If you can get vacation days, buy an out-of-state tag, and splurge on some gas for it, and maybe have yourself a little bit of camping gear, you can now improve your odds of harvesting animals and having more adventure and more fun and enjoying hunting more than any piece of gear you could ever buy. If you had $1,000 to put on clothes that you were going to spend on a hunting outfit, you would be much better off spending $100 on that hunting outfit and spending $900 on, setting yourself up to be able to do an out-of-state trip, including getting your little bit of camp set up and getting your tags and having, $150 or $200 for gas to get you there and back. You'd be much smarter doing that than you would buying that outfit. Some people will say, well, that outfit will last me years. Now, the memories of this trip will last you forever. The outfit won't last you as long as you think it will. This is a much better way to do it. So that's my advice for you. The misconception here is that when you come into hunting that you need to have an electric, you have to have an e-bike, you have to have $3,000 in hunting clothes, you have to have $700 hunting boots, you need $1,200 or $2,000 binoculars, and you got to have a spotting scope even though you're not using anything for a spotting scope, and you have to have all of this stuff that you got to have, and then you got to have a side-by-side, and you got to have a Polaris Ranger, and you got to have access to public or private land, and you got to do 3 leases because 1 lease for access is not enough, so there's your $8,000 a year in leases. None of this stuff matters. What I'm doing here is free. It's a $20 hunting license. I'm in my everyday clothes. I'm wearing a pair of $500 binoculars. Yes, obviously, but this is it. I grab my bow and I go. Don't overthink this. Don't get too carried away with it. Questions, comments, put them below. Thanks for watching.